بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now let's try to understand the topology, what we are going to use for the SD-WAN. Now in this scenario, if you remember in the previous, we have already set up our controllers here. We're using vManage, vSmart, and vBonds. They're connecting to one of my switch here. So probably this is my VPN 512, which is used for management. And we're using 192.168.10. subnet here. So mostly for management part, I'll be using this side, Ethernet 0 interfaces. And likewise, in my case, we'll be using this part, which is using Ethernet 1 interface of all the controllers. So it'll be used for VPN 0 for your transport VPN. So this transport VPN is again the interface Ethernet 1 will be used in the VPN 0. And from this interface, probably all your edges will be connecting through this transport VPN. And we're also connecting the server, which is using 192.168.100. subnet. And we're using vBond address. If you remember, while we configured the WAN Edge list in our smart account, we use this IP address of the vBond. So which means it is going to use this controller type so that it will contact from here. So this is part of our network. And probably what we'll be doing is we'll be adding our vEdge or WAN Edge devices here. Now, initially, I'm going to add the vEdge. And also we can add the CSRs a little bit later on. And this will be acting as my remote sites. So we can say like this is going to be my branch offices. These are all going to be my branch offices here. And all these branch offices will be responsible. So what they do is we need to make sure that they talk to each other. At the same time, they talk to the head office. So from here, I'm going to connect to my router, one of my router, which is again the IOL router in my lab or any iOS device you can add. So this device is going to act as my head office. Now this head office where I'm going to place all my controllers here. So this complete network is a part of my controllers. And then it is going to connect my head office here. Now head office, this is my network. Let's say there is a LAN situated in my head office. So I want to make sure that this particular LAN where I'm going to connect the vEdge and a normal iOS router here. And likewise, I'm going to build another LAN. Let's say there is one more LAN on the remote branch offices. Now, these are my remote branch offices, which are again connecting through the vEdges. Now, the connectivity, so we'll have two different types of connectivity. So we'll be using the one of the connection will be through MPLS. So we are going to simulate one router, which is going to act as my MPLS network. So assume we have an MPLS connectivity. And then we got one more connection, which is going to act as my internet. So just like we have a primary link and the backup link kind of thing, we have both here. And then we'll be providing the connectivity from here. So we are not setting up the complete MPLS, dedicated MPLS in this case. Because if you want to set up a dedicated MPLS, then we need a lot of things. So we are just trying to simulate a one router, which is going to simulate your MPLS connectivity. And there is one more router, which is going to simulate your internet connectivity. So I'll be using the normal IOL devices here, or you can use any iOS dynamic iOS routers can be used here. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll run some kind of OSP of routing to provide the reachability from here, and then some default routes probably on the internet. The IP addressing, you can use whatever the IP addressing you want at this point. So in my case, I'll be using 172.16.101.x probably here. And here I'll be using 102, and here I'll be using 103 IP addressing.